Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Harachakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So I'm halfway through Elder Apostle Tahar's lesson where he did a response to, he's responding to both IUIC as well as Deacon Hakar and Brother Hassad. And what they're doing is they're reviewing what Bishop Nathaniel was saying about debating, because there's a debate demon out there, and the core of it all is money, and to make a name for oneself. That's what it's all about, across the board, right? And what Bishop Nathaniel basically said, to no surprise, that they only debate with their equals and they teach everybody else. That's what he said. So in his words, there's nobody on his level. The only people he's going to debate are the people in the world for Christians. And that's just, like I said, to make a name for himself and for gain. And, my personal belief is the man who calls himself Bishop Nathaniel, really, he just always coveted after a position of a Christian pastor. He clearly has more respect for that position of the Christian pastor than he does for his own brethren, people who call themselves Israelites. That's why he basically distanced himself from all Israelites. But he's all about sitting down and trying to talk with leaders of different organizations. I believe he just always wanted to be in that position, because that position to the world, it seemed like a very noble, prestigious position. You're doing the work of God. You have this respect from the people. You're running the church, and of course you accumulate wealth, which is why people who probably either go to Bible school, want to be pastors, or want to go to the church, they're going out they're seeking that position for the same reason. They want to get paid, and they want to also be respected and be known for doing, you could say, the work of the Most High, right? Why wouldn't you want that position, right? And this, it's my belief that that's really all he ever wanted, because that's what he's doing. He's setting himself up as if he's the leader of a new church. Really, he's saying he's the leader over Israel. So he's pushing these pictures of himself, exalting himself, coming in on horses. He got the highest seat in the room. He got the most fanciest garments. He got these pictures. They're trying to make quotes out of his own words. He's trying to really push himself, because that's what he wants. And he wants that respect from the world, that I'm somebody special. Look at all my credentials. Look at my accomplishments. Look at me. And in IUIC, he has to manufacture that praise, because it's not genuine. Everybody that's on his table that speaks or comes to his defense, even like Deacon Asaph, which he's like the cleanup man. His job is to just, when IUIC mess up, his job is to try to clean it up, make it look polished, maintain the clean image of IUIC by any means necessary. All of those guys have financial gain, and they stand to lose. That's why they're not going to speak up for the truth's sake. So everything over there is all manufactured. Bishop Nathaniel, he makes sure that in his world over there in the IUIC, that he is a God. And though people in the world and the people in Israel, right, the apostles, even the elders of different Israelite groups, it's like Elder Barak from the HODC, who actually know that man. They know that man. They can see through the facade. They can see through that. And Bishop Nathaniel knows that his past is known amongst the brethren. And instead of just dealing with it honestly, he rather just try to bury it all. And, at the very least in IUIC, he says, look, I'm a God. At least over here I am. So he's basically telling them that we on top, we the authority. We don't listen to nobody. We don't have to talk to nobody. We ain't talking to no other Israelite group. In his eyes, anybody who called himself an Israelite and they're not in IUIC is a nobody, is beneath him. but he has more respect for Christian pastors because in his eyes they're the equal, because that's all he ever wanted anyway. He just wanted a position, but that's no surprise. And and here it is. I was going to bring out all these scriptures, but the apostles are already bringing it out. He already quoting them. They already bringing it out, like Deuteronomy chapter 7, where the Lord said the Israelites were the fewest amongst people, because and how the apostles is bringing out how you shall not follow a multitude to do evil. So the scriptures tell you that you don't look at what the world sees. The world look at things in outward appearance. The world look at man in outward appearance. The world looks at things as in abundance. The world thinks that the Lord loves everybody. He loves everybody on the planet. That he deals with mass numbers. He deals with a great big gathering, a great big following. But when you come into truth as an Israelite, that's actually the opposite. The Lord deals with small number. He deals with quality over quantity. But you hear Bishop Nathaniel over there saying, "Look, we got a large gathering. You ain't none. Y'all just a small little church. That's proof that the Lord is dealing with us. Look at us all over the world. Look at the numbers." So he's all about enlarging numbers, and that's why he run into these problems, because it's not about quality with him; it's just quantity. Okay, he's seeing things from a worldly perspective, and you guess everybody, we who can see, we can see through the guy. We can see through the guy. Okay, but the scriptures tell you that the Heavenly Father works in small numbers. Even amongst the Israelites, he's only dealing with an elect. He said 2/3. Imagine a pie chart. 2/3 of it is going to be destroyed. He said, "Let the multitude perish in vain, but keep my grape of a cluster." So imagine a cluster of grapes and take one grape. That's the salvation. He compared the salvation and the destruction as a wave to a drop. That drop representing the elect. So when you come in this truth, the Lord don't deal with masses and numbers, but yet that's what they believe over there, right? Because he's wise in his own conceits. That's why those breakdowns he break down, that was his breakdown. That's the breakdown of Bishop Nathaniel. And they catching all kind of hell over there because they got Israelites who are, you could say, window shopping. Really, they're just asking questions. They see that martial laws around the corner. They can see, most of them most likely see that the mark of the beast is the microchip. They know that their understanding of marriage is correct, and they know that there's nothing wrong with a man having more than one woman. It may just not be expedient, but you can't force that. You can't force an unbelieving spouse to convert to the truth, and if she does not, then you have to cut her off. Or if he does not, from a woman's perspective, then you have to leave. And you got testimonies of women complaining about that they've been left by the father of their children because they don't want to believe. All that's his idea of what's right and what's wrong. That's why they had those problems. And he knows that if he deals with the scriptures, he's going to get cut and rebuked. That's why he has to cut off all communication with the Israelites. He don't sit down and talk to nobody. And that's what gets me. I know about, but what gets me upset is when you have these Israelites, like those brothers from Believers of the Way. Okay, they threw a big fit because IUIC showed themselves again. And they sat down with they joined hands with the Nation of Islam, and they felt some kind of way. Well, that's what y'all get for trying to be buddy. And y'all doctrine, their doctrine isn't even complete as well. They said the mark of the beast already happened, which is incorrect. Okay. But then they get upset and they want to sit down and they want to try to talk to them. Look, Nate ain't trying to talk to nobody. He's the king in his eyes. He's the uncontested, undisputed king. You can't try to tell him nothing. You can't try to contend him with anything. All you can do is offer your praise and get the hell out of the way. But these guys that get mad because they feel that they've been wrong. Well, if you've been listening to the Man of Great Millstone, then you would know that this spirit of going along and get along ain't going to work out. But, I don't feel sorry. If anything, I got mad at them because you should know better. And even though these two, Deacon Nakar and Brother Hassad, is doing what they're doing, right, calling Nate out, understand, the moment you do that, consider all your options of trying to meet up, talk to him off the table. You don't know who you're dealing with, man. You don't talk about Bishop Nathaniel. You don't rebuke him. You don't correct him according to the scriptures. In his eyes, he's saying, look, my own man don't even correct me on the scripture. What makes you think I'm gonna let you guys? But I'm gonna read this and then I'll finish what I was gonna say. The Lord is bringing down all of these Israelite celebrities. Okay, everything that's happening right now, which I believe is the Lord revealing who His true men of the Lord are, who just go out in the highways and byways, teach and prophesy, starting with the men of Great Millstone, the apostles, the elders, and our affiliates. You know, even those who don't even have Great Millstone on their name, but they're just teaching 100% truth, and they're teaching in sincerity. The Lord's going to reveal who His true prophets are. All of these people you see in the midst of this controversy, like the names I mentioned, are going to be found out that they are just in it for their own gain. All of them. All right. 1 Timothy chapter 6. It says, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself. All right. And I dare say that all of this that you see that's going on is all the potter calling the kettle black from all sides. And because of the story in the scriptures, which I'm going to read, I always forget the names. The Lord is able to use opposing forces to take out each other. Okay? And that's what I believe is happening. New King James Version says, useless wranglings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, who suppose that godliness is a means of gain. From such withdraw yourself. NLT. These people always cause trouble. Their minds are corrupt and they have turned their backs on the truth. To them, a show of godliness is just a way to become wealthy. And of course, that applies to, IUIC. I mean, if you're in the truth, that way of thinking is, you should clearly understand that that's not the way of thinking as an Israelite. Once you understand the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, clearly the Heavenly Father does not deal with abundance or masses or the multitudes. He deals with a small number. You read the story, Gideon, like the Apostle Har mentioned. He had an army of what used to be, if I recall, it was 33,000. Went down to 10,000, went down to 300, just so the Lord could show His power and might. Because He said, I'm not going to let you win with all the numbers, because then you're going to get proud against me and say, we did this with our own strength. So it's well known of that. And those men over there at IUIC, they know that that way of thinking is wrong, but because the gift blinded the eyes of the wise, that He may not reprove. John chapter 12 says what? Many of the Jews and many of the Pharisees and the chief positions believed on Yahushua, but would not confess Him, lest they should suffer persecution, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of Yahweh. So you do have some believers behind in them seats, but because of their advantage and their gain, they want to keep their mouth shut. But you have people like Bishop Nathaniel who believes that the more and the most and the masses and the multitudes and the flashy garments and the show and the polished videos, the polished garments, the outward appearance, the news interviews, the appearance of seeming righteousness, and the multitude and the masses. Yeah, that's godliness right there. But if you come in this truth, then you understand that the Heavenly Father operates on a whole nother wavelength. And they know that. Supposing that gain is godliness. And I'll just find the names. I always forget the names. Okay, yeah, Judges chapter 9. All right, this is dealing with, okay, Jerubbaal and Abimelech, which is the son of Jerubbaal, and this is dealing with his opposers, who they wanted to make themselves king. And I'll just read the breakdown, the prophecy from the son of Jerubbaal, because he actually had 70 brethren. But Abimelech, slew all of his brethren except one. Why? Because he said, I'm going to be the only one, and I'm going to be the king. All right. Okay, the men of Shechem. Yeah, the men of Shechem were the opposers. And then you had Abimelech, who slew all his brethren except one, because he wanted to be king. And they said, yeah, we're going to make him the king. So here's the prophecy that the Lord prophesied against them from the surviving son, which his name was Jotham. This is Judges 9, verse 6. And all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the house of Milo, and went and made Abimelech king by the plain of the pillar that was in Shechem. And when they told it to Jotham, he went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice, and cried, and said unto them, Hearken unto me, ye men of Shechem, that Yahweh may hearken unto you. The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us. But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor Yahweh and men, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the tree said unto the fig tree, Come thou and reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, Should I leave my wine, which cheereth Yahweh and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said all the trees unto the bramble, Come thou and reign over us. And you know bramble is good for nothing but to be burnt. Right? It says, And the bramble said unto the trees, If in truth ye anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon. Now therefore, if ye have done truly and sincerely, in that ye have made Abimelech king, and if ye have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have done unto him according to the deserving of his hands, for my father fought for you, and adventured his life afar, and delivered you out of the land of Midian, and ye are risen up against my father's house this day, and have slain his sons, 70 persons, upon one stone, and have made Abimelech, the son of his maid servant, king over the men of Shechem, because he is your brother. If ye then have dealt truly and sincerely with Jerubbaal and with his house this day, then rejoice ye in Abimelech, and let him also rejoice in you. But if not, let fire come out from Abimelech and devour the men of Shechem and the house of Milo. And let fire come out from the men of Shechem and from the house of Milo and devour Abimelech. So what did he prophesy? Because you dealt evil, he gonna take you out, and you gonna take him out. And that's exactly what happened. The Lord used them both to take each other out, because what happened was eventually he was king for a minute, but the Lord put an evil spirit on the men of Shechem and said, why am I not king? I'm the king. I'll be more wiser than Abimelech. Yeah, you the king. Yeah. So that's basically opposition. That's people amongst your ranks deciding, it's my time. And that's exactly what you're seeing going on with the Israelite groups who call themselves in the community spirit. That's exactly what's happening. The back and forth, right? And then what happened? Abimelech said, oh, hell no. So they went to war. Abimelech slew him. But in his process of slewing them, he got slew because the Lord used a woman to take him out. She cast a stone down, and it basically cracked his head, cracked his skull, and he knew that he was going to die. So he had his man slay him, so he wouldn't be known as being slayed by a woman, but it's already recorded. But that's the judgment on the Lord. And then the Lord went and promoted, I believe, Jotham and made him king. So that's judgment from the Lord. He's able to do so. So, you got these Israelite groups that for the longest time, and, the supposing gain is godliness. That goes for all of these guys. It goes for all of them. They've been reproved and rebuked according to the scriptures for a while, for a long time. And still to this day, they refuse. And now the time has come where the Lord is breaking them up. All this unity spirit, which is not unity, putting different aside for the sake of brotherhood, being unequally yoked with unbelievers, eventually it's going to come to an end. And we're basically at that point. So the Lord is breaking them up. And now what I believe is that it's a battle of, trying to be the man, be the top guy now. So now these guys going after Bishop Nathaniel now, you know what I'm saying? Um, and the whole shebang. I truly don't even really care, because I already know how it's going in, because it's not the will of man. It's not the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. It's the will of man. All this, let's talk. Let's talk. And I damn sure don't buy this fake humility. I repeat, it's fake humility from these two. Debating all that, it's a bunch of BS. What's happening is they're riding the wave of popularity right now, and they're going wherever the wind carries them. It's not about sincerity. It's not about truth, but it's because they're getting praise from these men and getting these numbers and getting this money. They are riding that hype wave. Up, so we're gonna go at Nate now. Up, now we're going at Captain Zarya. Up. Now we're gonna try to. They're just riding the wave. It's not a sincerity and truth. You wanna know how I know? Let's go to their channels, right? So here we have the Deacon's channel. Now I'm looking for camp videos. Let's see if this is sincerely about teaching the word and going out on highways and byways. It's not about that. It's about debates. It's about putting their face on the screen. It's about money. It's about fame. It's not about the sheep. This is fake humility. Oh, we just want to talk. We want to get the community. It's such a shame. It's their opportunity to be the man now. That's what you see going on. And because everybody in the room got an ego, it's not going to end well. The Lord has the power to overthrow this will of man. Simple. It's simple. And all the while, the true prophets, the men of the Lord, is going out in the highways and byways, teaching, feeding the flock, doing the first works. It's going to be manifest who the Lord is truly dealing with, while these guys, go at each other. Reservoir Dogs. It's Reservoir Dogs. I already did a lesson on that. The community, Israelite spirit, and Reservoir Dogs. It's going to end the same, I believe. So we're at Deacon's channel, right? We're at the videos. You got these, all right, this is his videos, right? It shows him actually going out on the highways and byways. The last time on the video, it said 2 months ago, okay? Now let's go to the live. All right, we got debates, more debates, hold this L, Israelites get the beats. Not sure what that is. That looked like GMS camp signs, so I don't know if this is to try to make GMS look bad, which they will do in a heartbeat. All right, debates. Are any of these camp videos? I'm not too sure. 2 months ago, this is him on the highways and byways. Now these are thumbnails. They could be out there actually teaching. These could be camp videos with just thumbnails, but that's the question I asked. When's the last time they went on the highways and byways? Oh, let me check the calendar. Yeah, that's how long it's been. All right, let's go to Hasad's channel. Okay. All right, we're in the videos. Okay. Him making a video about leaving Sakar, that was 2 months ago. Since then, it was one video, which is just a snippet. Let's go to the live. All right, more debates. 7 months ago, so this is back when he was Sakari. That's when this video that he uploaded on the highways and byways. So going out on the highways and byways is not a priority for this group. But you know what is? Debates and making money. So I'm not deceived by this fake humility, because clearly it's not about the sheep. That's what this isn't about. Okay, now you could say, well, wait a minute. They are going out there. They're just not recording. I highly doubt. Now, you could be correct. If you're correct on that and they say, oh, we go out every week, we just don't put up the video, you could tell me that. I highly doubt that there would not be any cameras, okay? Because with these two, if they have to go down and teach, they have to schedule a meeting with people, It ain't just let's go out there and teach and let's upload the video. You want to know why? Because that's not the motivation. That's not the motivation. It's not about going out in highways and byways and teaching sincerely. Ask us when the last time we went out teach yesterday. What about the week before, the week before, the apostles and elders? When the last time they've been out? A few days ago, and then the week before, and then the week before. Every week they go out there. These guys got to make schedules. But you know what's funny? He has the time. Brother Hassad has the time to go to Great Millstone at camp to try to debate. He got time to visit brothers going out and teaching, to argue, okay, to debate. An answer that Apostle Hart already answered, but he didn't want to answer. Just showing you it's not about the answer. It's about attracting views. He got the time to go see them, but he ain't got time to go out there and teach. So I'm not going to accept any bullshit excuse from any one of them. You got time to go see brothers in GMS teach, but you two ain't got the time to go out and teach. All right, this is the Lord bringing that reservoir dog spirit to these guys, all of them. And in the midst, he's showing who his true prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua are. And that's why, I don't even really care about what goes on out there, because it's going to come to naught. Okay. And I'm just looking for the Lord to bring that chip. As soon as he bring that chip and he use Esau Edom to shut all this shit down, you're going to really find out who the true prophets of the Lord are, because the ones you follow now that don't go out in highways and byways teach, that's not a part of them, you ain't going to see them no more. When the cameras stop rolling, when the views stop, when the dollar means nothing no more, their motivation goes with it. And you just going to be left out to dry. Why? Because you are following hirelings. So point is, indeed, the Lord deals with small numbers. These guys are deceived. It's fake humility. And watch what Yahweh Shem Yahushua do to all of these guys who ain't sincere, as he reveals who his true prophets of the Lord are. All right? With that, shalom.